Yachty's basically disowning his past self. I feel bad because maybe he's getting misinterpreted, but also, I don't know. I feel like he's not proud of where he came from, which is the original SoundCloud generation of being like a mumble rapper. And he did get embarrassed a lot back in those days. Like, if you look at his image, he had the red bead hair. He was very immature, he was a kid, bro. And so now he's probably trying to, just like when you guys look at pictures of yourself, even a year ago for me, just 6 months ago for me, I'm like, yo, that wasn't me, bro. That wasn't me. I look like a dork. Still probably do, but I look less of a dork now than I did 6 months ago. So yeah, I can see why he looks back and is like, oh, that's cringe. But anyway, here's what he said specifically, and then we'll get into it. He speaks on his old music in the interview with Billboard. F any of the albums I dropped before this one. I was young and I didn't really give a so I did do things that may have led people to the assumptions that I was a mumble rapper or a SoundCloud kid, or I don't appreciate the history of hip hop. But to be honest, I've always been so much more than just hip hop. So I think he's been in some controversies where maybe like he didn't know certain things about hip hop history. I know Lil Xan said something about like Tupac, but did Lil Yachty have something like that? I think he did. Lil Yachty, Tupac. He checked out Tupac and Biggie's music after 2016. So before this, he listened to Tupac and Biggie's music for about 30 seconds. See, there we go. He didn't have too much of a breadth of what was actually where music came from. And so he probably got embarrassed now looking back at himself like, damn, they really made a fool of me. Plus, he couldn't really freestyle. He was a mumble rapper. He didn't know his label deal when he was on the show with Joe Budden and DJ Academics, and they crucified him for that. So again, he's just looking back like that's cringe. Now, I do think that the music that he just dropped is way more complex and better cohesively than what he dropped before. I think he had a couple of hits though. Like I don't know why he would disown them. It allowed him to be able to be so experimental now without, I don't know, going broke or being homeless. I know he's a scammer though, so back in the day, so he could have, maybe he wouldn't have made it all this far, but scammers always get caught eventually, I think. But yeah, he's forgetting what made him. Although again, he did make like somewhat bubblegum rap. I never really got it. Even back in the day, like I knew the songs like Minnesota and whatever, but I didn't get it. I was at that point in 2016. How long ago was that? That was 7 years ago. So I'm 26 right now. I was 19. Like I still had a little bit of kid in me, but I don't know. I rocked more with Uzi and Cardi back in those days. I wasn't really a super high auto-tune, what was it called? Like nursery rhyme type rap. Although when he got to like Lil Boat 2 and whatnot, he was working with Juice WRLD and Trippy. Like he had some bangers on there when he got into it. But I'm talking about like the Summer Songs 2 type. People think he dissed hip hop. I mean, he's not dissing hip hop necessarily. He just doesn't want to be associated with just being a rapper. And it's going to sound so bad, but okay, so being a rapper, especially with the whole SoundCloud era, it became the boundaries, or what is it called? Just the boundaries to entry. I'm using the wrong terms, I think, but I'm tired as hell. So it was easier for people to enter the market and record music on like BandLab is the new thing, but like GarageBand or FL Studio, whatever. It was just with technology, anyone could be a rapper. All you really needed was to learn how to engineer, go to YouTube type beats, plug it in, plug the auto tune, and you're good. Whereas before, it was much harder to be a musician. It was expected that you knew like music theory and how to actually play instruments. And so now with rap and hip hop, it's become at least a lot of the newer guys, like they might not know how to, like, what actual music is. So he doesn't want to be associated with that, if you will. I still love rap, and don't get me wrong. That's probably what it is. So he doesn't want to be associated with like that lower barrier to entry. He wants to be associated with like music overall, of like pushing the boundaries of different genres, where it actually takes skill. It's almost like if you're a professional ping pong player versus a professional basketball player. It's like, you ain't getting no hoes if you're a ping pong table player. You might in like Asia, and they got nice, tight, sideways whispering eyes, if you know what I'm saying. I see. It is very skillful, but I don't know. And then hip hop is the most popular genre, so like it's not completely the same of an analogy, but because Drake's out here doing the most, getting billionaire basically off of just music. But also, if you're a rapper, like maybe he'll get less brand deals and less looks from the mainstream public, like he was in movies and whatnot, because he was more of a clean image. Like he even talked about how he never really smoked weed, although in this album he definitely took hella shrooms, and he said he did DMT and among other things. I need to try that again.